So what I'm going to do in this video is talk you through how to make a graduate CV. I'm basically going to show you the template that I use, and this is the very same template that I used to get onto my graduate schemes this past year. And if you don't know my story, I struggled for 3 to 4 years trying to get onto graduate schemes, and then once I finally cracked the code, I was able to get onto not one but multiple graduate schemes. And this was the exact CV template that I used to get onto those graduate schemes. Now, if you're looking to make a CV for your graduate applications, or you've got one and you're just watching this video to see if your CV kind of aligns with the one that I'm going to show you here, then definitely look at all the sections that I've used, because these sections are really important to help you stand out in the application tracking system for the graduate schemes that you're going to be applying to. So the ATS, the tracking system, is like an automated software that these graduate schemes use to sift out basically the shit CVs and the ones that they actually want. And you want to end up in the ones that they actually want. And the way to do that is by having these sections and maximizing things like keywords and job relevancy and stuff like that, in order to rank quite high in that ATS system so that you can actually get picked up for the next stage. So it's really quite important that you get your CV on point. Now, I do want to caveat by saying that a lot of these graduate schemes now don't use CV submission anymore. So what you'll find is on a lot of applications, they'll just ask you to fill that data in rather than asking you for a formal CV document. However, it's still very important to have that document, because more often than not, you will need to reference back to that document, or you might just need to use that anywhere in a lot of the other applications that will still ask you for the details, but then they'll still want a CV as well, which is it's just a time waste and it's fucking annoying, but that's just the way it is. Anyway, so I do apologize for swearing. It just gets me really passionate because I've been struggling so much, and I see people struggling so much just to get past the first stage. And it annoys me when these graduate schemes are just wasting your time asking you for a document when they can just ask you for either one or the other, right? Just take my document or ask me to fill in the form. Why are you asking for both those things? But anyway, that's just the way it is. Now, if you want to grab the CV that I'm going to be sharing with you in this video, you can actually get it as part of my graduate success pack, which is linked in the description below. So as part of that, you also get my graduate job tracker, and you also get my graduate interview model questions and answers document as well. So in that, I basically share with you all the questions and answers that I've had in the interview so that you can pass your interview as well. And then the job tracker obviously helps you stay organized with your applications and stuff like that. And you also get my cover letter template as well, should you want to apply to graduate schemes that are not yet being advertised. So if you like a certain company, you can actually send that cold email out to them with your cover letter as well. All of this is going to be linked in the description below. So a CV that you need to create for your graduate applications, for your graduate schemes, it consists of 6 bare bones sections. This is kind of the skeleton that you really need as a minimum. So that's a one-liner, summary section, an education section, employment, technical skills, and references. So let's talk you through each and every one of these sections, because it's quite important that you use them and utilize them correctly. So this is the exact template that you're going to get if you, like I said, you can download it from the link in the description below, as part of the graduate success pack. And this is what you'll get. So this is what you'll be editing essentially. And if you you don't have to get the graduate success pack, you can make this yourself. And this is the sort of template that I go with. I have a border on the outside, and I do like to use borders for these headings here as well. It's just a personal preference. It seems to work really well. And like I said, this is the winning CV that got me onto multiple graduate schemes. So I've done something right in creating this. So right at the top, you're going to have your name, obviously. You want to have your name nice and clear in the middle. You want to generally keep the CV very simple. So as you can see, I don't have any fancy pictures. I don't have any fancy like formatting or lines or anything like that. All I've done is just added some borders around the text, but I've kept it very text-based. And that's by design. That's on purpose, because when you are uploading your CVs on these, get rid of that. When you are uploading your CV onto these portals, you need to make it very easy for the robots to basically read your CV and get a gist of what you're all about. If you are adding pictures and format, other sort of elements into there, and you're messing the format up, it can cause issues when it comes to those systems reading your CV. And that's the last thing that you want to do when you're trying to get onto a graduate scheme, and there's like 1,000 other people applying for the same scheme, right? You want to do everything in your power to make it easy for you to get to the top. So that's why I would highly recommend. I know that a lot of people in sort of the design field and stuff have a different stance on this. For graduate CVs, just go with a very simple, straightforward design. Once you've got your name at the top, underneath you want a one-liner. So this is what I mentioned just a few seconds ago. A one-liner is very important because it gives the recruiter or the system a quick idea of who you are and what you're looking for. So I've got an example here saying a reliable and hardworking individual looking for an opportunity to work in tech. So this was when I was applying for tech graduate schemes. I'm now on a tech graduate scheme myself. So this is what I put as my one-liner. You could use that same one-liner as well. A reliable and hardworking individual or graduate looking for an opportunity in accounting, looking for an opportunity in engineering, looking for an opportunity in the medical field, whatever it is that you're applying to. So this needs to change with the applications that you're applying to. Obviously, if you're applying to like schemes in different areas, like different industries, then that will need changing. But this will go a long way in helping the application tracking system understand that you're actually aligned to the job role. And this is one of the ways to do it. There is another way to do it as well, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But this is one of the ways that you can align to the job role, and you can help the tracking system understand and say, yep, this person is aligned to the job role that they're applying to. So we shouldn't take their CV out. Then you need to have your email address. And then if you drive, I like to put that I'm an owner of a vehicle and full driving license. This is so that if there's any travel involved, like it's just nice for a lot of, well, companies sometimes look at this because they want to know if you can drive to the location or not. So it's like a nice little bonus if you can add that in there. If you don't drive, that's fine. Add your email address and also add your phone number here as well. For obvious reasons, I've not added my phone number here, but you need to add your phone number when you're sending these things across. So that's the one-liner done with, the name done with, your contact details. Then we move on to the summary section. This is a very, very important section, and I see a lot of people missing it out. You do want a summary section because in this summary section, you're going to elaborate on that one-liner that you've given above. You're basically just going to talk about what it is that you've studied at university, what kind of experience you've got, if you've got any, and what is it that you're looking for. And again, these are all opportunities to use keywords from the job application that you're applying to, because the application tracking system is going to use those words and kind of look for those words, crawl those words on your document. And if it doesn't find anything, it's automatically going to assume that you're not relevant to the job, which means it's going to just chuck your CV away. And we don't want that to happen. So it's really important that you strategically use keywords in this summary section. And the only place you can do this is in the summary section. You can't really do it in your education and your employment because, like, you may not have done those exact same things in your education. For example, if the company is looking for teamwork, leadership, you can't just put that in your education and in your employment section. You might be able to put it in your employment section. I led this and I worked within a team, but you can't explicitly put that in there. In the summary section, you can. So this is an example that I've put. I am a highly skilled software engineering student with a passion for developing innovative solutions. With 1 year of industry experience with Google, I have a proven track record of designing and implementing complex software systems. So as you can see, that's a very keyword heavy summary. I'm targeting various different keywords with this, and this is as an example for applying for a software engineering role. So you can see we've got software engineering in there, we've got development in there, innovative solutions in there, we've got industry experience with Google. I have a proven track record of designing and implementing complex software systems. So like I said, the summary section is very important because you're basically just beefing up your CV with the relevant keywords that you need. Now make sure that these keywords are not just, you lying. Obviously you want to make sure that it's in line with what you've actually done. Okay, you can stretch the truth a little bit, but not too much. But make sure that you do use this summary section. And like I said, come up with a good summary that kind of describes what you've done, any experience that you've got, what you're learning, and what you're looking for. Next is going to be the education and qualifications, and you want to do it in this order as well. So the summary, and then you want to do education and qualifications next, because you probably don't have that much meaningful experience. You might have some internship or placement year, but what I mean is meaningful experience, which is actually like full-time employment. You won't have that much because you're a graduate, so you want to start off with your education section before the employment. Now in the education, you want to kind of format it in this way, like I've done here. So you've got your university, so you'll put your university at the top, then you'll put what you actually did. So I've put in civil and structural engineering, put in the actual grade that you got. If you haven't got it, then put 2-1 honours predicted in brackets, or 2-2 honours predicted, whatever it is that you predicted. And then you want to put the year that you've attended university. Okay. Then you want to put in your secondary school or your college or whatever. So I've put in secondary school. So you've got your A levels, and then just put it on one line. You could put the 4 or 5 or whatever A levels that you did, and then GCSEs. Again, 12 subjects. You don't need to list out every single GCSE, but make sure that you do just put something like this. So it's 12 subjects, or however many you did. Grades A star to C, including mathematics, English, and science. Or if you've done like BTEC, or you've done like some other thing that has UCAS points, then obviously just put your UCAS points there. And again, you want to put your years there as well that you actually attended. Okay, that's pretty much it for the education field. Then yeah, so what you want to do, so you might be noticing there that I'm from a time and era when in school the grades were A star to C, D, E. They were letters, right? Now it's like 8s and 9s and 10s or whatever. So yeah, obviously you will update that according to what it is now. Okay, so employment and work experience. That's the next thing that you're gonna fill out, and that's gonna be, you're gonna have your company name here. You're gonna have the city, and then you're gonna have the dates here. So you got like January 2010 to present. You got your company there, and you got the city there, and then you're gonna have underneath the role name that you played. So if it's like it'll probably be like assistant or summer placement or whatever it is, internship. That's what you'll put there, and then you want to give a good few bullet points as to what you did. So I've put some ideas here. What is it that you did? What you delivered, if you delivered anything, or if you helped delivered anything, what you learned, what impact you made, who you mentored, and what result you produced in numbers. That's a good starting point for you to start off with. And if you need any ideas with this, just use ChatGPT or something like that. Put in your experience into ChatGPT and tell it to give you some numbers and stuff to associate with it, and then just slap it back in here, and it should be good to go. Use bullet points because that breaks things up. Don't go on a massive essay or massive tangent. Just give them bullet points, and just like I said, try and use numbers where you can. So if you delivered, I don't know, 5 presentations, then don't put conducted presentations. Put delivered 5 presentations to the client which helped them achieve XYZ, something like that. Okay, that's the tone that you want to have. Again, the next company that you worked for, or if you don't have any more companies, then that's pretty much it. Then you want to move on to the technical sections. The next section you want to have is technical sections. This doesn't have to be like technical per se. It can be, what I mean by technical section is a section that goes into detail about your skills that are specific to the degree that you've done. So as an example, if you're doing like accountancy, it could be any certifications that you have, or any like technical things that you know when it comes to accounting. In civil engineering, we had things like surveying. That was like a technical thing. So I had put that down as well. So these are, have a think about what kind of technical skills that you can put down here. If you're not doing a technical degree, or like say if you're doing psychology or something, You can put down, instead of technical field, you can turn this into an extracurricular section. So you can talk about any hobbies that you have outside of work and university. If you have any side projects, you can mention that here. So that's basically a multi-functional section, right? For me, it'll be technical because the types of graduate schemes that I was applying to were like in the technical field, like STEM field. If you don't have anything technical, you can turn this into a hobby / extracurricular section and then fill that out. The last stage is going to be the references section. And here you do want to have at least one reference in there. So you can see here, Dr. Mark Andrews, university tutor. You're going to put the name. You're going to put what their role is. So you can actually put down your university tutor as a starting point. Put the address of where they're based, and then their telephone number if you can. If not, then put their email address, and that's it. That's your first reference ready to go. If you don't have any references, or you're not allowed to use your tutor or something like that, then what you can do is you could just put references available on request. And what that shows the recruiter is when they actually want to hire you, then they'll get in contact with you and say, oh, do you have any references? In a lot of graduate schemes, they don't really look at references, but it's still nice to have them just because it shows a bit more trust, right? If you essentially what they're looking at in references is, do you have a track record? And it's basically someone that they can go to ask about your work ethic or who you are like as a person. But like I said, in graduate roles, they rarely use this, but it's still good to have one if you can. So I would say have one from your university, have one from another workplace if possible. Workplace one is going to be a lot better, but yeah, just work with what you've got. And that is pretty much it. Now, in terms of length of CV, you want to make sure that it's around 2 pages. This isn't obviously 2 pages because I haven't filled it out properly. But once you start filling these things out, up to 2 pages is fine. 1 page is kind of on the shorter side, so try and beef it out a bit more if you can. But yeah, anything more than 2 pages is just too long. So if it's more than 2 pages, try and condense some of your experiences down or something, because it should ideally just be one paper on both sides. That's what they say, right? So 2 pages basically, right? Let's keep it simple. Now, as a quick reminder, if you want to speed this up and you actually want to download this for yourself, check out the link in the description below. Get started with the Graduate Success Pack. It'll save you a lot of time, trust me. And time is not on your side when you are buried in hundreds of applications potentially, competing against thousands of people. You want to use everything that can give you a leg up, and you want to use everything that can speed up your time. So definitely do check out the Graduate Success Pack. That's the reason why I've created it. And guys, honestly, it's not that expensive. It will save you a lot of time in the long run. But yeah, thank you for watching this video. I hope this helped, and I will see you next time.